Okay, coming back to your books, we are starting with the first one, skimming pricing. In this strategy, a very high price is set so that in the initial stage, the cream of demand may be skimmed, as I told you just now. And the investment made in the product means whatever money you have spent on the production, advertisement, all those expenses, they can be quickly realized. Realized means they can be quickly covered. So the aim here is sell to classes, means sell to high income group people who can easily buy the product, who don't care how much they are paying for a new product. And later on, the prices are reduced and the same product is introduced in other segments of the market, means in other markets also, so that other customers of middle income group people can also buy the product. All right. So here are few reasons why we follow this strategy, why some companies are using the skimming pricing strategy. So what happens? First reason is in the early stages, the demand is inelastic. Inelastic means when a product is newly introduced in the market, there is no other identical product, right? That is the only product of its own type. So people are ready to pay for it, especially the high class people. They don't bother how much they have to pay. If they are fascinated by the product, then they will buy it. So the demand, that is known as the demand is inelastic. All right. For example, I've taken the example of Tetra Packs. Earlier, only Fruity used to sell its drink in Tetra Packs, right? But later on, so many companies introduced it. So in the beginning, everybody used to go for Fruity because it was easy to carry in a Tetra Pak. So the demand was inelastic. But later on, when other companies started doing it, the demand slowly became elastic. All right. Second is high prices in the initial stage will provide funds for expansion into the big volume segments of the market. Means in the initial stages only, in the beginning only, if you are charging high prices, you will get a good amount to introduce your products in the other segments of the market. So you can easily take up advertising, and if you want to spend money on sales promotion, you have enough money because you have already charged high prices in the initial stages. All right. Then one more reason is it is easier to start out with a high initial price and reduce it later than to set a low price initially and then raise. So what the thought is behind this reason is if you will start with a lower price, and what the customers will think, because you are selling to the classes, they will think that the product is not of good quality and they might not even purchase it. So when you start with classes or high class or high income group, you should always start with a high initial price. All right. And then later on, slowly you can reduce the price and sell it to masses. Masses means sell it to other income group people also. Next comes penetrating pricing. As I told you, penetrating means forcing something inside. So this strategy involves setting a low price in the initial stage so as to make the brand popular very quickly. So here we are not talking just about the product but about the brand. All right. So what the company is doing in the initial stage, they have set very low prices for their product because they do not want to sell to the high class people or to high income group people. They want to sell to the masses. Masses means to all income groups they want to sell. And these are mainly used in fast moving consumer goods. Fast moving consumer goods are basically daily use products. So here the policy is to sell to the masses, which results in high sales volume during the initial stages. Means in the initial stages only, lot of products will be sold. Now we are going to study the conditions in which penetrating pricing is desirable. First is, it is desirable where the demand for product is highly elastic. That is, the quantity sold is highly sensitive to the price. Means if you will charge high price, low quantity will be sold. And if you charge low prices, higher quantity will be sold. So if the demand is elastic, then you should go for parity pricing. If you will raise the prices, the demand will fall. If you will reduce the prices, the demand will increase. So in that case, this type of penetrating pricing should be followed. Second reason is there is strong competition in the market. Means you have so many competitors of your product in the market. Then also you should follow this type of strategy. All right. Next is where very few consumers are willing to pay a high price. Suppose you are introducing your product in a market where mainly you have middle income group people and lower income group people who are not willing or ready to pay high prices. Then also penetrating pricing is useful. However, there are certain disadvantages which have to be kept in mind. Very low prices may bring in demand which the firm is unable to meet, because when people think that the product is very less in the prices, what they will do, they will start demanding for it more and more, and then the firm will not be able to meet the demand, means they will not be able to supply them as much as they need. All right, so what happens here, supply it is less and the demand is more, demand exceeds supply. Second is, some consumers may think that the low price product is of poor quality, it is not according to their standard. So these are the two drawbacks of this penetrating pricing. Next one excuse me, that we are going to do today is parity pricing. So under this pricing, parity, I told you, means doing what others are doing, similar to others. So in this, a business firm adjusts its own price to the general pricing structure in the industry. Means it will charge what the competitors are charging. So many companies in industry, they follow the price level set by the market leader. That is known as going rate pricing. Market leader is an experienced leader who sets the prices for different products. It can be a company also. So they set the prices for the product, and those prices are accepted by all the companies. So when the competitors are also using that price, it is easy to follow this type of pricing. It is also known as competition based pricing. So it is used in which situations? First is when it is very difficult to measure the cost. Parity pricing may be logical, means when you are not able to determine how much you should charge for your product, then you go for parity pricing. You charge as much as the others are charging in the market for the same type of product. The next is when price leadership is well established, means when the market leader is very efficient, experienced, and since past years they have been setting good prices for the product, then also you go for parity pricing because you trust the market leadership. The next is when competition is very severe. If the competition is very severe, it is of no use if you charge higher prices for your products, right? Because there is so much competition, people will obviously buy the products which are low priced, right? They will not buy your product. So that is why when competition is severe, parity pricing should be followed. You should charge the same as your competitors are charging. Then it may be less troublesome and less costly than an individual pricing strategy. When you set a different pricing strategy, it has to be done by some experienced person. You have to hire people from outside for setting those prices. So if you follow what others are doing, you have to spend less on the pricing strategy. Means you can easily adopt what others are doing. You don't have to hire any skilled person and you don't have to pay to that person. All right. So it is less troublesome and less costly. So these are the types of pricing that we have done today. Go through these. In the next video, we will be starting with the next P, that is place distribution channels.